we will analyze a case that has shaped our political system for over 200 years. This case dealt with the relationship between the power of the state and the power of the government. Today, we will be taking a look at the 1819 Supreme Court case of McCulloch versus Maryland. Starting in 1816, Congress decided to establish the Second National Bank, located in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, in order to control the regulation of currency issued by the state banks. However, most states did not agree with this action, questioning the constitutionality of the formation of the National Bank. Shortly after, in the year of 1818, Maryland in particular decided to approve legislation to impose taxes on the Second National Bank. Most people at the time were unsure of why Maryland needed to impose taxes and wanted some sort of explanation. One man in particular took actions into his own hands and refused to pay taxes issued by Maryland. James William McCulloch, with the help of John James, brought this issue to the attention of the Maryland Court of Appeals. In a series of contradictions where Maryland stated, the Constitution is silent on the subject of banks. Therefore, the bank is not constitutional. The court upheld Maryland, and the case was then ultimately appealed to the U.S. Supreme Court. During this case, the court re-clarified that Congress was indeed able to establish its national bank, with Chief Justice Marshall supporting the idea through four main arguments. The first of the four arguments was the fact that Congress had already previously established the first national bank, and was therefore authorized to establish countless others. Secondly, he argued that it was the people who ratified the Constitution, not the states. Third, Marshall addressed the scope of congressional powers under Article 1. The court then broadly described Congress' powers before addressing the following clause. Lastly, Marshall supported the court's opinion textually by invoking the necessary and proper clause, which in terms permitted Congress to seek an objective that is within its numerate powers so long as it is rationally related to the objective and not forbidden by the Constitution. This statement was followed by the decision which determined that Maryland was truly incapable of imposing such taxes and would therefore be voided as they were considered unconstitutional, resulting in a unanimous decision of 7 votes for McCulloch and 0 against. As a result, the case in some way helped balance the federal and state's power. Furthermore, it clarified that the purpose for the necessary and proper clause was not to diminish federal laws, but rather to add additional power and not a restriction. And here are my resources used for the project.